Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Sandwich of Coherency. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So what I want to talk about is Cori Bush, and I've mentioned her in the intro episode for this year. But the thing is that's important about Cori Bush is that what Dan Bishop from North Carolina is going to bring up is that, well, she's pushing that racist rhetoric again. And what I mean is that Byron Donalds was nominated for Speaker of the House, and Dan Bishop points that out, that you could have had the first black Speaker of the House in the United States history. But we couldn't have that. And the reason we couldn't have that is people like Cori Bush, who sit on the Democratic side, call him a prop and a supporter of white supremacists. They've been saying that for a long time. But here's the reality. The reality is that Byron Donalds is not a white supremacist. He's not a prop or anything like that. The problem is that he's liked by conservatives and Republicans of all colors, black, white, Latino, Asian. And the thing is that those are not the people that she likes. And that's the Democratic game, okay? And that's the reality of what they've been pushing is that you are a racist, you're a white supremacist if you disagree with them. If you don't go along with what they want and what they think should be, then you are the white supremacist. It doesn't matter what color you are. They're to the point to where it doesn't matter what nationality you are. If you disagree with the Democrats, you are considered a white supremacist. And they will do everything they can to shame you and to ruin you for the simple fact that you don't agree with them. Now, if you agree with them, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what terrible, horrible things you said, as long as you go with what they think should be, then you're not a white supremacist. And one of the things I brought up in a previous episode was Strom Thurmond and Joe Biden's love for Strom Thurmond and his deep connection with Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond was one of the most vile racist, actual white supremacists in government. And even he said that he didn't want a Democrat for president, but if there was going to be a Democrat for president, he would want it to be Joe Biden. Now you got to ask yourself, if he's a white supremacist, but he likes Joe Biden, so that should give you some kind of insight into Joe Biden's beliefs. But the thing is that for people like Cori Bush, Ilhan Omar, Taliba Kaliba, and the rest of the lot, because Biden says he'll do what they want, they look past his actual white supremacy. And people that are nowhere near connected to white supremacy end up getting labeled that for the simple fact that they disagree with him. So let's just go ahead and jump into this quick clip and see what Dan Bishop has to say.
For what purpose does the gentleman from North Carolina rise?
Madam Clerk, I rise to place in nomination the name of Byron Donalds of Florida.
The gentleman is recognized.
I want to begin by saying how much I have anticipated the gentleman from Michigan's arrival in this House, not in the Senate, not in the old staid, unchanging Senate, but in the House where we make change. Yesterday, we could have elected the first black Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. Bring it. Bring it. Hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. Had the cascade of votes begun, it would have extended to every member of this body. It could begin today. Last night, I sat within feet of Mr. Donalds as the tweet of another member-elect appeared on the screen. That member-elect wrote and sent out to America that Byron Donalds is a prop. I've spent a good bit of time with Mr. Donalds especially lately. He ain't no prop. And if he were a prop, he wouldn't be sitting where he's sitting. This is the tired, old, grotesquely racist rhetoric that we've seen far too long.
And there you have it, folks. This is really what happens every day in the House. The Democrats are playing a very nasty game. And they've been playing this game of identity politics and this whole idea that if we label you something terrible, that's enough to make people not want to hear you. You know, or rather, in this case, we don't want people to listen to you. So in order to prevent them from actually taking the time to hear what you have to say, we'll just tell them you're a racist and all this other stuff, sexist, whatever. Because that's what people are going to start with, because they're banking on people's emotions. They're hoping that people will think with their emotions and not think logically. And you got to ask yourself, and really, like I said, you know, moving forward into this year, we should take the time to actually examine our politicians. So when they start coming out and labeling people before you've even had a chance to hear what they have to say, please take the time to listen to what those people have to say, because it might actually be the thing you actually need to hear. But I thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.